Hi everyone, I'm Alan Reese with the law firm of Frank and Kraft here in Indianapolis. Today I'm sitting with Susan Wack, who's a geriatric care manager here in the city. And today we're going to talk about choosing the right rehab facility after you're discharged from a hospital. Susan, how are you doing today?
Good, Alan.
I would love to hear you educate us a little bit about choosing rehab facilities after folks get discharged.
Okay. Well, I'll back it up a little bit first because frequently we get the call of crisis from the adult children. Mom or dad have ended up in the hospital either due to a fall, have surgery, and they're being told that their parent has to be discharged in a day or two.
That's got to be pretty scary.
Yeah, it is. And under Medicare guidelines, if they've been in the hospital for 3 nights, rehab, the first days 1 through 20, 100% of that will be covered for rehab.
Okay.
So what I recommend to families is, number one, make sure you ask the discharge planner or care manager at the hospital if they have been formally admitted to the facility or to the hospital, because they need that admission status before they can be accepted and have it paid for at the rehab.
So is that a potential pitfall for folks who may not know better?
Yes, it is. It is a potential pitfall, and it's been occurring nationwide because of changes in Medicare reimbursements. So that's the first question you want to ask. And if everything is okay and they've been there 3 days, then the next advice I usually give to families is choose a facility that's close by, because the more you visit, the more involved you appear, I think the better care your loved one gets.
It's got to be better for the folks going through rehab as well, because that's often an unpleasant process.
Sure it is, and they need that support as much as anybody. So that's the first step. And then the other recommendation is you want to check with the state health department as well as National's Medicare Nursing Home Compare, Medicare.gov website. Both of those have information about kind of the quality indicators of the various facilities. So by checking with them, that gives you a good start. And then the last piece I say is you want to speak with the nursing home ombudsman.
Okay.
Because surveys are done yearly, and so a lot can happen between the time of the last survey and the current one, and whereas nursing home ombudsman, you can check with them to see if there's been a recent complaint filed against the facility or any issues that you as a loved one need to be aware of.
So you can check to see how well they've done in surveys and rankings, both at the federal level, from Medicare.gov, and then also at the state level.
Right.
And then in addition to that, you should talk to an ombudsman. So what is an ombudsman? What is their job?
It's a federally funded program that advocates for older adults in licensed nursing homes, so as well as assisted livings. So here in this, and it's administered statewide. So there are ombudsmen available throughout the state of Indiana that will go out and investigate complaints and work to mediate issues between the older adult and the staff at the facility.
Okay. So you know that they're going to be on the side of the folks who are actually the patients in the rehab facility looking out for their best interests.
Correct.
Super. Any other things that people want to keep in mind, particularly if maybe they're looking for a care facility or a rehab facility for a parent who maybe lives out of state?
Certainly. For family members, when they go through and start taking the tour, there are some recommended lists of questions that I can send you a link to of how to shop for a rehab facility. And there's some good questions that they can walk through and do. But if the loved one isn't going to be there, I really recommend that they have a family friend or like a geriatric care manager do those steps, because you want to make sure that all those bases are covered before the person moves out of the hospital.
What are some things, and this obviously wouldn't be comprehensive, but what are some types of things that folks may want to keep an eye for when they actually get to the stage of looking at different rehab facilities?
I think the biggest thing is you want to look at staffing. And that can show up on the survey sites, both the federal and the state. But also just when you're walking through, you want to look at where are the staff and residents? How are the staff interacting with the residents? How many of the therapy staff are actual therapists versus therapy aides? Those are the kind of questions that are helpful and beneficial. And again, I can provide that link.
Okay. Susan, thank you so much for sitting with us today and helping answer some of our questions.
You're welcome.
Thank you all for joining us as well. Remember, the Elder Care channel is here to provide any answers to questions you may have throughout the entire spectrum of senior care resources. Thanks for joining with us, and take care.